Madiha Afzal, Pakistan Under Siege, Extremism, Society, and the State. Delve into the thought-provoking book, Pakistan Under Siege, Extremism, Society, and the State, as author Madiha Afzal confronts the complex issues of radicalism, terrorism, and the state's role in this intricate web. This summary will examine the primary terror groups and their ideologies, the opinions and beliefs of Pakistanis towards these organizations, and the origins and consequences of the Islamization of Pakistan. You will gain insights into how the nation grapples with the challenges of extremism and the continued influence of Islamist political parties, as well as their impact on Pakistan's relations with the United States and India.
Pakistan's complexity. Pakistan is often portrayed in the West as a failed state breeding terrorism. While it is true that terrorism is a problem, the country's complexity is often overlooked. Pakistan has a population of 200 million, and views on extremism are more nuanced than imagined. Despite sympathy for jihadists' beliefs, the relentless terror attacks have led to a widespread rejection of extremist violence. A 2004 survey found that only 41% of Pakistanis believed terrorist attacks were never justified, but by 2013, 89% saw terrorism as unacceptable, even when committed in the name of Islam. Pakistan's endemic poverty, corruption and ineffective government do provide fertile ground for terrorism, but the narrative that Pakistan is a cradle of radical Islam is an oversimplification. The complexity of the country and its people must be considered for a fuller understanding of the situation. Terror groups in Pakistan. Pakistan has been plagued by four main terror groups: the TTP, Afghan Taliban, Lashkar-e-Taiba, and Al-Qaeda. While each group operates independently, they share common features in ideology and have been known to share resources. Despite disapproval from the Pakistani population, these groups continue to operate. The Pakistani military's relationship with these groups is complex and influenced by geopolitical considerations. However, as Pakistanis experienced the effects of terror firsthand, their support for these groups has decreased. From secularism to extremism. Pakistan's journey from a secular nation to a state entrenched in religious extremism can be attributed to former military dictator General Zia-ul-Haq's rule from 1977 to 1988. Zia injected religious material into Pakistan's school curriculum, criminalized acts that were considered as blasphemy, and wiped out freedom of speech and religion. This led to the injustice of well-meaning citizens and the eventual growth of terror groups such as Lashkar-e-Taiba. Pakistan's involvement in the fight against India and the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan further fueled the spread of extremist religious ideology. Today, Pakistan is known for draconian measures such as executing blasphemers and state-backed extremism. The paradox of Pakistan's Islamists. Despite controlling only 17 seats in the National Assembly, Pakistan's Islamist parties have an outsized influence. They oppose reforming the school curriculum and demand iron-fisted measures like blasphemy laws. However, they differ from violent extremists as they don't seek to destroy the Pakistani state. Being stridently anti-American, their opposition to the West is seen as overlapping with extremist views, but they have competing interpretations of the faith. The harsh rhetoric used by Islamists doesn't necessarily protect them from extremist attacks, as seen when 20 people were killed in an assault on a Jamaat rally and two prominent members of Jamiat Ulama-e-Islam Fazl were murdered by the Pakistan Taliban. The state has never engaged in open dialogue with its citizens about terrorist groups targeting the country, which creates a lack of education and understanding about these groups. Complex beliefs of Pakistanis. The book highlights the complex and diverse beliefs held by many Pakistanis towards the West, the United States, Islamic extremist groups, and India. While a minority support extremist attacks, a significant number understand Al-Qaeda's grievances against the West. Although many Pakistanis oppose the terrorist group's actions, they share its hatred towards the United States. Distrust of America is widespread, with unfavorable ratings never dropping below 50%, and reaching 80% in 2012 after the killing of bin Laden by U.S. soldiers. Many Pakistanis view America as wanting to weaken and divide the Islamic world and impose its culture on Muslim nations. Furthermore, some believe the Taliban is a tool of the American government or financed by the U.S. government to destabilize their country. Pakistanis are in favor of imposing Sharia as their law, but they have particular beliefs about the law's commitment to fairness, such as allowing girls to attend school and women to work. The country's distrust of the United States is also fueled by their belief that Washington treats India gently but Pakistan harshly. Although Pakistanis' opinions of India shift with nationalism, they overwhelmingly view India unfavorably. The military has exploited the tensions between the two nations to maintain its power within the country. Pakistan's uphill battle. Pakistan's struggle with extremism and the government's misplaced priorities is far from over. While the country claimed victory in the war on terror, extremist groups continue to threaten peace and stability. The rise of xenophobic nationalism globally fuels jingoism in Pakistan, making it even harder for the country to climb out of the downward spiral. With a government that shows little interest in reversing the trend of Islamization, critics of the state are often silenced or disappear. The normalization of extremism has taken a heavy human toll. To combat this, Pakistan needs to decriminalize religious dissent, abandon conspiracy theories and educate towards critical thinking skills. Until then, the uphill battle against extremism and the threat it poses to Pakistan's stability continues.
In Pakistan Under Siege, Madiha Afzal delves into the complexities of extremism and state policies in Pakistan, challenging readers to reconsider their perspectives. The book reveals how extremist ideologies are intertwined with the nation's political landscape, education system, and international relations. Although Pakistan faces daunting challenges in its struggle against terrorism and radicalism, reforming its educational system, abandoning conspiracy theories, and ceasing the use of religious arguments in warfare can potentially put the country on a path towards change. This book urges its readers to understand Pakistan's intricacies and to appreciate the necessity of these reforms for the country's future.